5 love languages, good or BS?
But that's why, to me, the love language thing was really never valid because I've never, I mean, there's two other fellas on here. Y'all let me know, but I've never been with a woman who didn't want all of that shit. Like,
Right.
there was never,
Like,
I've never been with a woman who was like, I only need quality time and gifts, but I don't want touch and like all. So if that's all of y'all's love language, then what the fuck are we talking about? All y'all want all that shit.
That's
Am I
exactly
missing
right.
something?
Well,
5 love languages, good or BS? Jess HIlarious asks, who's going to protect biological women? We'll also play a little game with couples of smash or pass, and you'll want to make sure to stick around to the end so you can hear from the panel on things your daddy should have taught you. So are y'all ready for this conversation? Let's get into it. We have our host, KB. He's always on here doing his thing. We do have the married one, Kev, in the building. And then we have Miles. He's a wild card. We never know what we're going to get. And then, of course, me, obviously. I'm the pretty one. So join in this conversation, share this with a friend. And we have a special guest as well, and Courtney. She is in the building. All right, KB, let's do your thing. Take it away.
I was on social media the other day, and I flipped through this thing that talked about the 5 love languages. And I guess the love languages are like touch, quality time, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and acts of service, right? And everybody be hoopla and hoopling. And I can't tell you how many relationships I've been in where people talked about the 5 love languages. But I've always thought the 5 love languages were bullshit. So I want to bring it to the panel because I want to know what you guys think about the 5 love languages. Being the married man, Kay, why don't you start us off? What you think about the 5 love languages?
so I can tell you how many relationships I've been in that talked about the 5 love languages. 0. I don't know what the love languages are, but like I said before, it sounds like horse shit.
All right.
I'm not mad at it.
I guess it's that. Courtney, what you know about the 5 love languages? Have you ever practiced them? I mean, what do you what do you think about the 5 love languages?
Well, I think they not only essential just for you to know how you show and expect to be shown love, but they also let you know how your partner expects or wants to be shown love as well. It's like a basis and the foundation of everything else that comes with it. Some people don't like to be touched. Some people don't like to, have you in their presence a lot. Some people don't like to buy gifts. Some people don't like to receive gifts. So I think it is beneficial for any relationship.
Okay. Miles, you have to tell us what you think.
Yeah, I only speak 1.5 languages. Now, I will say this. This is as a lot of things breaks down into men and women. I can't speak for women. I know as a man, I know what man love is, and it's not none of that. Man love is, are you hungry? Here's some food. You cold? Here's a coat. Need some protection? Here's some protection. What you need, here it is. That's the only love language any real dude has. So, ladies, I know this ain't the advice segment, but just let me sneak one in. If you with a dude and he's talking about love languages and shit, run. Because that nigga's lying. He's doing his best woman imitation to make you think that he loves the way you do, and he don't. And if he did, you wouldn't like it no way. No, man love is what you need, I got it. That's how I'll show you I love you. All that other holding hands, kicking cans, hoochie coo, sugar plum, that's just me trying to imitate my best impression of woman love. So as far as love languages, I only got one. The ladies on here can speak for the ladies, but yeah, I've never related to it.
So Miles, it sounds like you're saying that men's love language is acts of
It's
service.
acts of service for sure. That's
I
exactly
mean, it
what
could
it
be
is.
acts of service.
That's what I'm
I don't
hearing.
call that a language though. See, words mean things. We as black people and all people today really like to do this thing where we just repurpose words for whatever the fuck we want them to mean. I tend not to adhere to that. I was raised by an English teacher, so I just kind of stick to words meaning what they mean. And so you can call it a language, you can call it a Svengali, whatever you want. But by any definition of a language, I know active service is not a language. Latin is a language.
I mean, could it be a language though if it's the way you communicate with your partner? If the way I communicate with my partner is, babe, are you hungry? Do you need some food? Isn't that communication? Isn't that what language is? Or am I
That language was
being
English.
extra? Okay.
That was English.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That was the language you used to communicate. So yeah.
All right. Well, the only love language that men have is touch. That's the only one we really have. All that acts of service shit, like Miles said, that's just a dude trying to get what he wants. His only love language is touch, because that's all he wants to do. He wants to touch. And when I say touch,
what do you mean by that?
You know what I'm talking about, of what he wants to touch.
I'm not,
right?
no.
Here's my thing of why I think the whole love language thing is bullshit. And the reason why I think it's bullshit is because it's based on the fact that other people have to adapt to who you are, which I think is completely backwards in a relationship. I think you should be who you are. And if who you are doesn't match and align with what that other person is, then you guys should go your other ways. Like, you guys should go your separate ways. You shouldn't continue to date or think of anything long-term or serious. For example, like, if my love language is touch, but this other, this girl I'm interested in, hers is, I don't know, acts of service, but I don't do acts of service. I shouldn't be trying to do all these acts of service for her. No, she should go find a dude whose love language is act of service. Now, 9 times out of 10, she ain't gonna like that dude, because, if your love language is acts of service as a dude, probably kind of soft. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. You probably very feminine, because women serve, women nurture, and so if yours is active service and you're a nurturer, she's probably gonna stop liking you. That being said, you shouldn't try to do what other people want you to do. You should line up with people who already do the things you want them to do, or like the things that you do already. So in my opinion, that's why I think the whole love language thing is bullshit, because it just puts you in a perpetual state of trying to serve the other person. You'll get tired of it. You'll start to resent them. Next thing you know, you'll be with another broad.
Dang, y'all went hard on the love languages. I mean, for me, if anybody asks, I'm all of them. I need gifts. I need to be touched. I need quality time. I need
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I need all of them. What is it? Gifts, quality time, acts of service, whatever I'm missing. I need all of that. So
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Yeah, tell me when I'm doing good. If you stop by and see something, go on and get it for me. I'm gonna love it. If you want to make the sandwich or grab me something, or babe, you need anything out the fridge, thank you. Touch me. And let's have our quality time, babe. Like, I know I've been busy at work. You've been doing your thing. Let's have a movie night tonight. Like, yes, just you and me, no phones, whatever. So I need them all. To me, that just sounds like the basics of a healthy relationship. It bounces off what KB says. Be with somebody where y'all are just compatible. You like to do the things you like to do with each other. So therefore, all of this action is natural. It's a natural byproduct of who you are. And there's a rhythm and a mesh and some harmony to the situation.
See, but that's why, to me, the love language thing was really never valid, because there's 2 other fellas on here. Y'all let me know, but I've never been with a woman who didn't want all of that shit. Like, there was never, I've never been with a woman who was like, I only need quality time and gifts, but I don't want touch and all. So if that's all of y'all's love language, then what the fuck are we talking about? All y'all want all that shit.
That's exactly
Am I missing something?
That's exactly where I was going to go. It's like I'm married, and that's exactly what my wife wants. But like, we don't
all that
call
shit
it
all the
love
time.
language. We don't call it anything. That's just a part of life that you go through. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the title of it is for and why it needs to be like broadcasted as such. It's just how you compare.
Because women like cutesy shit, and they and a lot of shit that they can post that sounds clever and gets people to double tap it. It catches on virally. That's my opinion.
It was actually a man that wrote the book, if I'm not mistaken. A man wrote that book.
Well, of course, because he was, But
well,
he
just
knew propagate that shit.
But so then the 5 love languages is actually for men, And if it's actually for men, then it should have just been one love language. It should have been the one love language, touch. You better give up them guts ASAP and don't say no. That's what the
But
book
is
should
that a
be
love
called.
Don't
language?
just say
That was the
no
whole
should-
book, Kay.
tonight.
It
Don't
should be
say
called give up
nothing,
them
huh?
guts and don't say no. That's what the 5 love languages
Here
should
at the
be.
Blk Cinder, we are wholly interested in consent and would never say anything to the contrary.
And
Just
here's
so
me
everybody
singing R.
understands
Kelly in the
that.
background.
Yeah, we had to throw
Right.
in that little legal note right there.
Yeah. Make sure they know where we at with it, you know?
Yeah, we believe in 100% consent.
All the
Please
time.
do not take this and think that
Don't
we
say
don't need
no.
no consent.
Yeah.
We are not lawyers who can give legal advice.
We do not give legal
At all.
advice here. Okay?
Whatsoever.
All right. I saw this other thing on the internet the other day, and I thought it would be a really good topic. It's trending right now. Jess HIlarious. I guess she met up with some trans comic or whatever. They had words, and the trans comic was calling her a cis woman, and she was like, "I'm not a cis woman. I'm a woman." Either way, let's go on and get into the clip real quick. Let's go on and get into the clip real quick, and then we'll come back and kind of have a conversation about it.
Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never ever get. You'll never be that.
She was responding to the trans woman. I still don't know if it's trans woman or trans man. The trans was on the internet like, women, y'all are not gatekeeping periods. Y'all are not gatekeeping womanhood. Y'all need to stop with that. Da 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 da. So I feel like that tone that the other person was giving is what set off her tone to kind of match that energy and be like, you wish type of a deal. I think that's where all of that energy came from. I don't know. Should I get into my thoughts on it?
Okay. Yeah, no, we definitely thank you for bringing us up to speed. But I mean, since you're the resident, what do they call them? Birther? Is that what it is?
A birthing person?
Birthing person. Since you're the resident birthing person, what are your feelings on this whole thing, Jamie?
So first I want to give a disclaimer because I know this is very, uncomfortable conversation for people. I don't have nothing against anybody. I don't care what anybody does. And if you come to me, whatever you look like, and you want me to call you whatever you want me to call you, I have no problem with that. So let's just start there. But for me, it is aggravating. I am a woman. I am a biological woman. I am a natural born woman. I'm not a cis woman. I'm not a birthing person. I'm not a person that bleeds. I'm a woman, a natural born woman. And I don't want to hear any of that other stuff. I'm not using cisgender. Now, again, if that's what you want to use to whatever. But the weird thing about this is the same rights and respect that trans are asking for, women are asking for. So how is it not respected when it comes to what we want? But you need to call us this and it has to be that. Well, stop calling me that because I'm offended. I don't want to be called that. So as far as, mental disabilities and all that, I don't know. Because clearly, first of all, people have been gay and trans since the beginning of time. We just have social media now. But at the end of the day, there needs to be respect. So for the person who originally spoke that Jess is referring to say, y'all don't gatekeep periods, y'all don't gatekeep womanhood, stop. you know, I've heard other trans say stuff like, we're teaching women how to be women. We're teaching women how to walk. We're teaching women how to do makeup. To me, that's only something a man would say. It's infiltration. It is penetration. Those are words that are more meant. You can do and be all that, but you could never teach me or any woman how to be a woman. A man can't teach a woman how to be a woman, even if he identifies as a woman. Even if she identifies as a woman, you can't teach that. So it's offensive to think that, to speak like you started this. It's very weird to me to use that language, not the situation, but to use the language. I know there's a lot of trans people that don't talk like that. And sometimes I think when I come across other people, they are like, we don't think like that. We don't talk like that. We respect women, and it doesn't even have to be like that. So sometimes I wonder if there's some kind of feisty little agenda happening to just get everybody up in arms and to continue to divide and conquer. But at the end of the day, if you put a trans woman and, you know, 9 men on an island, you know, everybody's going to eventually die. Parts of the parts, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
So, you know, yeah, you put a biological woman on and 9 men, you're going to have continuous growth. And that's not going to
We'll
change.
probably
no
all
matter...
die too from killing each other trying to get to her. But I get your point.
Yeah. Look, there's enough for everybody. There's only 10 of us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there'll be 8 dead niggas and a couple after that. So, but here's what she said that kind of got me, right? So she's like, well, who's gonna stand up for women? And I'm watching this and I'm looking at Jess HIlarious, and it's like, who needs to stand up for her? Her voice deeper and raspier than mine. Like, she's cussing niggas out in every other word. Like, she seems aggressive as hell. Like, does somebody need to stand up for her? I'm standing up for you. Women, in part, are responsible for this phenomenon and all this goofy shit that's going on. So, what do you mean, who's gonna stand up for that whole conversation they were having was imbecilic. It was absolutely absurd. The gatekeeper of a period. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I get it.
Who can prevent you from having a period or not prevent? Who can gatekeep having babies? You was born with ovaries or you wasn't.
Mean? Gatekeep.
That's what I'm saying.
Mean?
That whole conversation, no offense, Jamie, and our other guest if she's still on, but that reeks of female scatterbrainedness, to coin a phrase. Like that, there is on no level did that conversation make any sense or come to anything logical. Just HIlarious, for the record, wasn't wrong, but like, I don't need to stand up for you. You doing all right. Y'all perpetuated this bullshit. Y'all got these fucking snuffleless eyelashes and all these colorful hair extensions and shit to the point where we can't tell you and the trans apart. So you made this world, you made this bed, and I sleep in it. Me, I'm opting out.
Oof.
I don't know what you are. You can be whoever you want. God bless you. I respect you. I want to be left out of it. But yeah, that whole conversation is insane to me.
Yeah.
Okay, what you think about it?
Yeah. So it's funny. We had a similar conversation to this some years back in our first go round. We talked about the Me Too movement, and I said I didn't want this to be, because I think, you know, there's certain rights that women deserve and at a human level all should have, but we're back to another fad. This is a fad. This is something that's become a political pawn for a lot of people. This is something that people are using to, further their causes, and there's no real effort behind it outside of choosing a side and wanting to have an argument and wanting to be, this or that, and it's become a fad. And if, for the most part, the people I know, the people I've encountered, I'd say 99% of the people that I'm in my circle, and I might know somebody that I don't realize is like a complete asshole, but I don't know anybody who's going to judge somebody on any level. So I don't need to be forced to accept anything because everybody I know accepts you. You don't need, you're not going to force me to do anything. And the problem is I'm being forced to do something. And I think that's where, for me personally, that's where the problem is. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people in my circle don't want to be forced to do anything, especially when it's unwarranted. I have no ill will against folks. So don't try to force your agenda on me. And like I said, we're at another fad. I'm kind of like excited about this passing at some point, but I don't think it's going to. Well, it will, but it's not going to anytime soon. I think we're in the thick of it right now, and there's so many people that are taking full advantage of it. That is pretty disgusting to me. But yeah, to me, we're in the midst of a fad, and at some point, it's going to start to wane away, and there's going to be some other group that starts to take the reins, and they're going to become the one that people are taking sides on. But if everybody has a level of human dignity and respect, we wouldn't even have to have this discussion.
Yeah, okay. I feel sorry for women because this is a trend that has happened over the last, I would say, 60 years since the women's rights movement, where women have been bullied by weak men and masculine women. And when I say women, I mean feminine women have been bullied by weak men and masculine women. Kind of just like feminism. You have a bunch of weak men and masculine women going, we should be doing this and we want to be like men and you guys need to accept us and wah, wah, wah. And feminine women are just going, oh, okay, all right, well, sure, we want to be inclusive. But you don't see the same shit on the man side. You don't see no, hey, we think that men should be just cis men and, trans men should be considered men too. Because we're not putting up with that shit. We will, unfortunately, it will turn physical. And I'm not saying that
Can we give
anyone
our
should be
second
physical.
disclaimer of the night?
Yeah, disclaimer. I'm not saying that anyone should be physical with trans people. Everyone should deserves respect. Everyone deserves the right to move freely in the United States without any acts of violence or anything like that. We don't condone that.
Okay, cool. Got it.
But what I'm saying is it wouldn't happen on the man's side. It's not happening on the man's side because men don't put up with bullshit. And that's exactly what this is. It's bullshit.
It doesn't happen on the
silliness.
men's side because women don't act like that. It's very rare unless we're just not seeing it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I use words like penetrate, infiltrate. That's a masculine, that's what it feels like. What women don't, even the ones that are trans men or women that change over, they're not screaming to play on the NFL teams like we got.
Can't.
Right.
But I'm just saying, but that's just not, this is why I don't understand with some of it. It comes with nature, right? I was watching this one trans man in tears, almost talking about the lack of community that's available amongst brotherhood. And she used to be a she, now she's a he. But even when I was watching that, I'm like, well, yeah, because what's intrinsic to us as women is community. We do sisterhood, we do community. That's how we roll. So there's still undercurrents, in my opinion, from your natural biology, no matter what you want to wear, that crossover. Additionally,
the fact that this person was crying tells you all that you need to know about this dynamic. Like I the gentleman on this panel, like as we've gotten older and family obligations and work and all that shit, we don't see each other like we used to. But which one of us is crying that, oh, we don't have this brotherhood like it's like the fact that person that I forgot how you described him, but that person
I saw him on the internet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying with a trend is a man now is what they like to be, right? So yeah.
But once again, the reason why we don't hear men saying, "Oh, I don't have no brotherhood," is because it'll get physical. Like as men, we don't give a fuck. And if you try to say like, "Why aren't you my friend?" then
Yeah,
it's gonna
nah,
turn
nigga,
physical. Then it's gonna turn physical.
I
which
mean,
we
you
don't
know,
condone.
No, we don't condone that. We don't
yeah.
Right.
condone weakness. We don't condone men whining and crying. We
Oh, I
don't
thought we
condone
were.
any of that.
Oh, never
So,
mind. All right.
so you
And
see
it
what I'm
also
Anyway,
makes
saying?
me wonder
let it go.
too, since
That just
because
shot right.
you know, Kev, you talked about this being a fad and us being in the thick of it, but what I see is this has been going on for a long time. I don't know when women have been reduced to nails, lashes, and hair. That's not what makes a woman. Like those are aesthetics, that is makeup, that is costume, you know. So there's just a lot of dynamics here that even confuse me. But there are a lot of women who walk around here with the face contour, for example. I really feel like even just with the Kim Kardashians and the face contouring, I even think that was part of the agenda, so to speak, when it comes to the politicals and pick a side, just like BLM and all this stuff, the divide and conquer situation. Even starting with something like contour makeup. The more you contour a face, you can make anything look like whatever. So now everybody's giving this level of ambiguity because women, we were not contouring our faces prior to this subtle introduction of ambiguity. So I don't know. I really don't know where to go with anything. I just try to do my best, and so do my friends. We don't do too much. We're all pretty much as natural as it gets. And you just, I don't know. Like, how do you even combat? Well, there's nothing to really combat, but it's like, what do you say?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Here's the
Nothing.
thing. Like, there's the reason I say it's a fad is because 5 years ago there were not a lot of people that were ready to lay their lives down for trans rights, and now you've got people ready to go to prison, do whatever. Like it's gotten to a frenzy within some people's minds that they think they are willing to go to bat for this community. And you know, like I said, let's go 7 years ago just to make it a little bit better. This was not something that people were taking a side on. Of course, they've been around, like you said, trans community's been around since probably beginning of time. Like you said, there's people who have wanted to do that forever, but it hasn't gotten to this level of, I mean, we're talking about the military. We're putting things on laws, on books. We're allowing in our military to be forgiven from a physical aspect, like certain physical activities are being forgiven if you're in the trans community. And so, you know, there's certain things that have never been discussed, have never been placed in this level of discussion before today. And I don't think it's going to last, though. That's why I say it's a fad. Is I don't think this is going to be, you know, 7 years from now that we're still going to be discussing it to this level, and that there are going to be laws being made and people having, you know, huge rallies and things like that. So that's why I say I feel like it's a fad.
I don't think that it's going to go anywhere, and here's why. And I hope I don't get canceled for this because I don't want to say
be
that
canceled. Get it off.
I don't want to say that being trans is a whatever. I don't care about that. I don't care what people do. I love people as they are, but I think this is all part of a ploy towards reducing the population, less families, less men and women together, less natural babies. They're starting to talk about pods where we can put your baby in a pod and we'll play classical music. We can download this into your baby. Whether it's real or not, they're building warehouses to start baking babies. They're doing different surgery. Like all of this stuff to me seems like a push. That's why it's in the political and this and that, because like I said, people have been doing this since the beginning of time. Nobody cares. Like, do your thing. Gender and sex are two different things. If you want to be called whatever, who you have sex with, nobody cares. But now when I look at this whole thing on population control and how everything is separating family, because when you're in a family and you have man, woman, and kids, that's a bond, and it's harder to separate and, you know, tear apart a bond that's bonded like this. When everybody's separate, and because I know women who are now dating other women because they really are not finding harmony with a man. So you got to think of everything that's been happening for the past 10 years. It's a slow drip to completely, I feel like, obliterate the
nuclear family.
Nuclear family. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know about population control and all of that, and I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole because I'm prone to that. But
Yeah,
as far as like Yeah, I'm giving to that. Believe me, I'll be up to 3 a.m. on YouTube. But no, like as far as who's gonna stand up for women got to stand up for women on this one. I mean, you know, unless it's a UFC fight with a former dude trying to get in there and beat the shit out of a woman,
But it is that
then we
though.
all got to
I've
do
seen
something
that.
about. But other
You're
than
seeing
that,
that.
these little silly ass online arguments and Jess HIlarious and all that shit, knock it out. I know you're not trying to enlist me to join that horse shit. I'm out. I'm opting out of
Well,
that whole life.
I think women have to, like you said, I think women have to be on the front line. And if you see a dude who's like, yeah, I ain't with it either, then you guys need to support men who are like, hey, we're not with it either. I think at the end of the day, you know, people together can form a what's the word I'm looking for?
Alliance?
Not an alignment, but a movement, right?
Mm.
People together can form a movement, and just kind of like how the trans form their movements, where they like, hey, we taking over, we coming in here and we joining the party. You know, there needs to be a resistant movement that says, yeah, nah, you guys are still different, and hey, you guys can live your life however you want to, but we're not gonna make things confusing for anybody to think that you and I are the same thing. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we have to all bond together to say, hey, people can do whatever they want to do. We just can't start jumblizing shit up so that things become confusing, because that's all this is right now. There's a huge campaign for confusion because when people are confused, they're easy to trick. And when you're easy to
Exactly.
trick, you're easy to control. And so right now, you know, we need to eliminate confusion. And that's, you know, unfortunately, I know this is going to sound like a real, masculine thing to say, but confusion is what happens when women run things. Like it just happens that way. And men are more logical, and men don't tolerate confusion.
Where are
Um,
women running things?
yeah, but we're
I'm
still,
just curious what you mean by
yeah.
that.
Look, I still work with women, so you know, I'm not gonna go too
Got
hard,
it. Cat got your tongue
but
there a little bit,
yeah.
huh?
But I put it to you like this. I've only worked at one company that was run by a woman where things went smooth. And that was because every layer underneath her was full of men. Any company I worked for that was all women from top to bottom, worst experience of my life.
I don't even like it. So you
Worst
got to explain.
experience of
I don't
my
even like
life.
it. I don't
Yeah.
like working for women.
Yeah.
So
Horrible. Horrible.
I'm
So
not even gonna hold you on that.
yeah, that's why I
I get
say
it. Okay.
it's when men do things, we don't tolerate confusion, and I think what we're seeing right now is men not stepping up and really putting a stop to confusion, especially in this country. So
Because
I
I see
think,
straight men that put he, him in the bio. And I've had to actually ask a dude, like, why did you put that in your bio? And
yeah,
he just felt like he's supporting people who are of whatever. And for me,
yeah,
doesn't that go without being said? Or I'm just really confused on why a
yeah,
straight man who dates women has to put he, him in his bio. It's all very, very, very confusing. I
yeah,
don't know.
because he was raised by his mom,
Yes, he was.
and you know, he was raised by his mom, and now he's very soft,
Yeah.
and you know, he's very caring, and wants everybody to have a turn. And so now he's gonna put he, him, they, them, we, us, you know, and whatever, whatever else is a part of the, you know, confusion. But you
Yeah.
know, it is what it is. I think strong men got to step up to soft men too and say, cut that shit out.
Yeah, it
But
would be
you know,
nice. But
yeah,
whatever, to each their own, I guess, at the end of the day. What can you
yeah,
do? I know for me, all I do is keep it as real as possible. Like, I will get my lashes done and we're going to pop on some nails and but at the end of the day, if I took all this off, you're going to know exactly who I am when I'm walking down the street.
yeah,
No surprises, no BBLs, no fake, no that. I don't even have tattoos. So this is the best I can do as far as just showing up as
yeah.
is, being part
For
of the
sure.
party.
Any last words on this?
None.
Now we done. Okay, cool. Let's
Tiptoe through that one, huh?
yeah, tiptoe through the tulips on that one.
All right.
No, I feel like I got out what I needed to say. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Saw another interesting video that I wanted to react to on Instagram the other day.
He gave you a guilt-free pass to sleep with anybody in the world. Would you use it?
Yes.
Go smash Drake.
He know who I'm smashing. Yeah, I'm gonna go smash Drake.
Why Drake?
Just because I think that he's sexy and I like his music. Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Nothing more, nothing less. He looks good and his music is fire. Like he's an idol. Like he's an idol.
I'm an idol too.
He's somebody worth smashing.
I'm an idol too. Okay.
You are. You're my idol.
Music. All right, bet.
All right, yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
What if she gave you a guilt-free pass?
If I had a guilt-free pass, would I use it?
He's trying to act like he don't have somebody in mind, but I feel like he does.
If the guilt-free pass meant that I was about to get $1 million, I'd use it. But I'm not thirsty to go smash any other women.
All right.
Like she's thirsty to go smash Drake.
I'm not thirsty. He asked me a question and I answered it.
I feel like he's going to be making a video in about 3 years asking his girlfriend or wife at the time who she's sleeping with.
You think it's going to take that long, Kate?
2 weeks ago.
That's what I was like. I was like, 6 months max.
3 years. He's a bunch of bitches going to be able to ran through that nigga in 3 years. Here's a new rule. Here's a little cheat sheet for you out there, fellas. All right. If your girl is publicly talking about who else she would fuck, that's not your girl. That's like, it can be that simple. Now, the part at the end about him, oh, well, I'm just not thirsty to go out and smash any other. She's not waiting for Drake. That's the other little secret I'm gonna let him in on. It won't take Drake to get the job done with her. It could be Steve at fucking Jiffy Lube, but he got dirt under his fingernails and he's acting like a man, and she'll get that nigga some ass. This is bad. This is the sum of all fears, and I say that as somebody who's had the hall pass talk with girls before, whatever. Right? It's funny. It's blah 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 blah. But if your girl gets asked publicly by a nigga on the street with a camera, who else she wants to fuck? Start fresh. Start fresh, my dude.
But this goes back to even I know you weren't here last week, Miles, but with the guy who was asking his lady about who she was messing with.
Oh yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah, so there's already an established setting in that an environment in that relationship. It's completely established. He knows exactly what she's doing. He's willing to accept it. There might be a time when he doesn't accept it anymore, but for now, he's completely willing to. Like you said, the end of that was even more telling than the part of her speaking when he started to, he had no words.
Yeah, just stop.
And he knew that if he was to mention anybody, she was going to look at him and he was going to look at her and he was going to be like, and it was just going to be some more backpedaling. So
it was over.
Yeah, that relationship is destined to fail unless he continues to accept who he is, right? At some point, he might have to buck up and be like try to act like somebody he's really not and in the relationship. But for a while, he's going to stick around. He's going to cry when he go to the car.
It's all bad.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. First of all, I would never. I just wouldn't. If I'm with, then I'll be the boring interview, or y'all can skip us, because I would not dishonor my man like that. We wouldn't be together I don't need a hall pass. I'm grown and I'm in a relationship. For me, it's really simple. It's pretty cut and dry. I think he should be more concerned that, to me, he looks like Drake. So is she trying to put something together? Because I was just like, it looks like she grabbed the closest thing she could get to a Drake and bagged him. But I think he said
homeboy looked like Drake. I didn't
to
even
me,
see that. Okay.
yeah. To me, I mean, as close as it gets. I don't think what he said at the end had too much to do with anything, but his ego and his feelings was already hurt, so he had nowhere
That had
else
a
to
lot
go.
to do
But
with it.
that he had no choice but to be like, well, I wouldn't do that, and then that's when he had to throw in the thirsty and did it. Now he's sassing a little bit because his feelings, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's gonna last long. I can see where she was coming from, like, yeah, whatever, don't act like you wouldn't admit it. But it just, to me, it doesn't work. It's not a good look, and yeah, I don't think they're gonna last long. That's it.
Yeah, she settled for dude. All right, that's the bottom line. At the end of the day, when your girl publicly tells people that she's gonna smash another dude, that means you're not really the dude. All this my celebrity crush BS, that don't mean nothing. That means I settled for you. All right, because if the shoe were on the other foot and I was with Drake, I would not be telling Drake I would smash you.
That part. Or anybody else.
Yeah, or anybody else. Because I settled for you because he was what I really wanted and you're not. So I'll do him, but guess what? Not you if I was with him. And that's the bottom line. And dude needs to understand that. All right. She doesn't really feel the way she feels or should feel about a man that she's with because she wants to have sex with another man. And she said that shit like with all types of conviction too.
With
like
her chest.
Drake.
She was on tap.
Yeah.
She was waiting for somebody to
Oh, you already know. He already know.
He
I
knew.
told him. He already know.
He said it with her.
Yeah, and this clown, he's like, well, you know, you. I guess I wouldn't. It's like, bro, with your sucker ass, like, bro. I mean, you
know what he should have said.
He don't even got no ego. He don't even got no type of pride.
No
pride. He's out of his league on that.
Okay, like
she should have told.
bro.
The way he should have answered that question was, my hall pass. Oh yeah, she works the swing shift at Del Taco. I seen her earlier, and yeah, that's my hall pass. See, mine ain't a celebrity. Mine don't have to be on TV. Mine is somebody down the street that I can actually go sock.
Ooh, remember when
and when you mean sock, what do you mean by sock? Because YouTube gonna shut us down if you're talking physical violence.
No. Once again, for the third straight segment, the Blk Cinder podcast in no way condones physical violence or lack of consent. So, but yeah. No,
you mean sock in her box. That's what you mean.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
all right.
About. Oh my God.
All right. We just need to put that out there so that the algorithm doesn't shut us down. All right.
Don't
Kev, you're right. She's gonna end up like the last couple on the show where it's like it's just this woman who settled for this guy that looks pretty decent and is nice to her, but she's fast, she's out of his league, and he can't really hold her down like that. It's just not gonna last.
Yeah, just like we did last week. The dude, he was a nice guy. She was tired of getting, used and abused by all these other handsome men that she really liked. And so she settled for some dude who she knew wouldn't hurt her. Who she felt she could control. And at the end of the day, 3 years from now, she's gonna be angry at him, yelling at him, screaming at him, telling him that he ain't shit, and he's gonna have to negotiate his happiness with some broad. Crazy, insane. Any last words on that?
Now that was pretty easy right there.
Yeah, that was light work.
She said Drake is an idol. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but
an idol.
What that got to do with
does
anything?
Does she mean icon? An idol? I'm not worshiping. I just don't understand.
You might not, but that don't mean millions of other people ain't.
He's an icon. He does very well, but I don't know about Drake being an idol. I don't know.
He's an idol.
Weird.
There's people that worship and name their kids after Drake. We don't have to belabor that.
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
Listen, Drake can be whatever he want. Just don't be with no broad who wants to have sex with other men if she's your broad. Bottom line. And ladies, Stop settling for dudes you don't want to, stop settling for dudes that you don't really want, and that if a celebrity asked you to have sex with him, you would. If you still want to have sex with a celebrity and you're with a guy, he's the wrong guy. Let him go.
Yeah, and men
Let
need to
him go.
stop trying to go for these girls that, they know is out of their league so they can look good to their friends. Stick to your lane.
Yeah.
Leave these other girls alone. There is a nice girl out there who wants to be with you. Are you equipped to give her just a regular relationship? Because men get just as addicted to abuse as women do. And it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
We talking about
Man,
airtight?
I almost forgot
what abuse?
No,
in the biz, that's what they in the industry. That's what they call a callback.
Stop.
Just a little something. You know what I mean? Throw that in
Don't
there.
y'all go Google that either.
All right. All right. This segment I like to call, these are the things your daddy should have taught you. Jamie, go on and get us started.
So I'm not sure, would my dad have taught me this? Actually, he would, because he's all about resilience. But I would encourage people not to be afraid of heartbreak. I think that people remain in situations that they know they don't belong in, and they try to force it anyway because they're afraid of living without that person and what the experience of being alone and heartbreak feels like. But it's almost equivalent to staying in something long-term that's not going to work and it dies when the wheels fall off. I encourage people to not run from heartbreak, because you can learn things on the other side of it. You'll learn more about what you really want, more about who you are. You'll learn about what you've been allowing that you need to grow and heal from and no longer allow. So if you can take the perspective that there is beauty in heartbreak, yes, it will hurt. Just like staying with the wrong person hurts, but there is another side to it that's lighter and brighter and more worth it. And it does. It makes you strong. Nobody wants to hear what doesn't kill you makes you stronger until you get to the other side. And then when you do, and you know how to be more choosy about who you want to be with, you put yourself in a position to make better choices and have something healthy and long-term.
All right. Okay. What's something your daddy should have taught you?
I would say as a kid, I got whoopings. So one thing you should know is you can get your ass whooped. People need to stop walking around here like they can't get their ass whooped. And that gets you in a lot of trouble. You need to make decisions and take your life as if I do this incorrectly, I might get my ass whooped. And I know as a kid, I was, I pushed the line. I got a lot of whoopings because I thought, I could get away with it at times, but it was rare that I got away with it. And so I started to understand that, okay, there is a line and I know not to cross it. I think a lot of our society today doesn't realize that there's a line. We got to understand that there's a line that you can't cross and that there's a consequence as a result of crossing that line. And out of the many things that my dad taught me is don't cross that line or I'm going to whip your ass.
Great words of advice. Miles, give us some great words of advice.
Well, I don't see why disclaimers should stop at this point of the show. So the Blk Cinder Pod is in no way condones any child abuse or anything contrary to what the law says is prescribed as child development tools, including the belt. So I just want to get that off. But no, in all seriousness, I agree 100% with Kev. If people knew that there was some pain associated with some actions they take, they might choose to take better actions. So that's very well said. Couple of things real quick, in and out. Don't dumb yourself down. Don't make yourself appear to be, or try to come down to other people's level so that they can understand and or receive you better. Stay away from doing that. Jamie's thing on the heartbreak, I think, was good advice. But ladies, if you want closure in your relationship, a good place to start would be with your legs. And just in all cases, just try to, be a good shit. Treat people the way you want them to be treated. Try to do the right thing when nobody's looking.
Okay. Good advice. Good advice. I got 2 pieces of advice. Fellas, don't date women who don't serve you. And what I mean by that is stay in your lane and find a woman who wants what you want. A woman who's aligned with you, and she's so in line with you that not only does she admire you, but she also desires you. Your woman is supposed to be a helpmate and someone who serves you and your purpose. And when I say your purpose, I mean her purpose too, because her purpose is your purpose. But you are not here to entertain women. Women are here to help and to serve and to be an ally in your mission. And when I say your mission, it's both of your mission because she wants that same mission too. If your woman's not serving you, she's a liability. Get her out of your life as soon as possible. Second one, for the ladies. A woman's education and money is like a fire extinguisher. Should be labeled with break glass in case of emergency. Meaning, go to school, get your money, get your education, but don't lead with it. Find a man, find a husband who will take care of you. And then only when necessary, only in an emergency, do you rely on your money and your education. God forbid something happens to your husband, you got to fall back, protect yourself, but don't lead with it. I've seen too many women fall under this whole feminist rule and end up miserable because they can't find a mate who either has the means to protect them or is smarter and better at protecting and providing than they are. It's a hard swim upstream when you're already at the top. So I say that to say, if I was a young lady, I would get an education, I would make a little bit of bread, but they would be secondary as a backup, because the first thing I would want is to make sure that I had a husband and a family that I could really and truly embrace and fall in my femininity, and only when necessary, throw out my masculinity, get a job, use my education, have to provide and protect. Outside of that, don't do it. Any other
Miles, is your hand up? Did you just raise your hand?
I raised my hand because I didn't want to interrupt in class.
Go ahead.
Just no. I mean, listen. I mean, what you said, that was beautifully said, and I feel like it should be, spread across the land far and wide. But if you were a young lady, and Kev, feel free to answer this too. Jamie, you don't need to because you probably whatever. But would you sell any small scintilla of vagina at any point in your life?
If I was,
go ahead, Kay. I'll let you answer first, and then I'll answer second.
I mean, it's difficult as a man to say I'd sell ass, so I can't have
not
that.
Man ass, okay? See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, that's a tough one to say.
Well,
look,
isn't that tough? Come on,
it's tough. Now, look, as a woman, I'd say I'd never be broke.
So that's a yeah. What about you, KB?
That was a yeah.
You got one yes.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm a very masculine dude. So I'd have to think that if I was a woman, I'd be a very feminine woman. And if I was a very feminine woman, hold on. If I was a very feminine woman, then I wouldn't sell no parts of my ass, because I wouldn't want to give away no parts of my woo-ha. You know what I'm saying?
You're not giving nothing.
Me as a man, I'm on the opposite scale, right? I like to, you know where I'm going with that.
I don't know if I do. What do you like to do?
You like to pay for it?
What do you like to do?
No, I don't like to pay for it. No, you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. I don't like.
Wait a minute. What do we have to earn? You just told us not to work.
Keyword. I don't
$40.
Like to pay for it.
That's what you gotta earn.
I don't like to pay for it. Keyword being like.
I don't like to pay this car note, but I like driving this car though.
I mean,
but to answer your question, Nah. If I was a woman, I wouldn't be selling cock. I'd be a lady. Just like as a man, I strive to be a leader. All right. And I think that the highest form of a man is a leader, and the highest form of a woman is a lady. And if I was a lady, then nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be. I would be trying to start a family, because that would be the ultimate goal. Just like as a man, my ultimate goal is to make a bunch of money, right? Is to do a lot of
Jamie,
providing. So I think if
obviously,
I
I'm
was a
not.
woman, yeah.
I'm not selling. I'm holding.
No, no, no. I wasn't.
Oh.
My point
I
was
was
that
like,
I
I'm
wasn't
holding.
asking you.
Oh,
I wasn't going to ask you because A, it's none of my business, and B,
I'll
it's
put
not
it
a
out there.
theoretical exercise for you. Like if you
Okay.
wanted to live that life, you could have already. So clearly,
Correct.
like you've decided. So that wasn't even that wasn't directed at you.
Well,
Like,
what you gonna ask me then?
Yeah. No,
nothing.
I
I didn't have no
think
questions for you. This was for the
Oh,
fellas.
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think women who sell their bodies are operating in their masculine. I think
I
a
think so
woman
too.
who's in her feminine, she doesn't want to be touched by any man but the man that she chooses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think yeah, if I was a woman with my brain, with this masculine brain I got, yeah, I'd be selling it all day, of course, because I need to make that money. But
Right.
I would have to think that if I wasn't a woman who wants to be a man, if I was a woman who wanted to be a woman, I'd probably be holding on to it.
Never be broke, okay? That's the fuck
What
I'm
about
talking
you,
about.
Miles? You selling?
Oh, the minute somebody would buy it, are you kidding me?
You be out there slanging?
I salute all of y'all. I salute every single woman who's not doing it.
Why
Because it's the
aren't you selling it
easiest.
right now?
Because nobody will buy it.
Oh, there's plenty. I'll give you a website.
Oh, you talking about selling? Nah. You see,
No.
I'm not with the funny
I'm not
shit.
talking about selling ass. I'm talking about yeah. There's some women out there now. Look, they might weigh 400-500 pounds, but guess
Yeah,
what?
I'm cool.
They got
cool.
plenty of bread.
Not for a stack.
Yeah, they
You ain't
got
smashing for a
long
stack,
bread.
Miles?
Nah. I can make it. I got better ways to make it stack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't think that a woman who operates in her feminine is she's not trying to sell no ass. She's not
I like
trying
the
to
way
be
you
touched
put
by
that.
a bunch of men.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about walking the stroll neither. I mean, you could,
Yeah, I know. You could be up on the internet escorting,
high class
shit like
escorts,
that. Yeah, nah.
up there at Wally's, up there at Mastro's every night at the bar. You know what I mean?
Up there at what's that old sugar daddy spot over there in LA? What's
La
that shit called?
Louisiane? What you talking
Not
about?
La Louisiana. It's the other one. Charlie's or some shit. I can't.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
couple of them.
yeah.
Cat Daddy.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but
Cat Daddy in there with the fresh short set.
with the short set, with the long
With the-
zoot suit on,
The fresh linen zoot suit on.
all of that.
Pocket
All right, any
knotted
last
up.
words before we go?
Nah, I think we're
Nah.
good.
Yeah, no, I think that was it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We appreciate you watching Blk Cinder. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave as many comments as ever. If you'd like us to react to something, go ahead and drop it in the comments or send an email to blkcinder@gmail.com. That's BLKCINDR@gmail.com. That being said, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace.